My name is Willie Lawson, and this is the Morning Report. All right. Welcome back. We appreciate you being here this glorious day. Again, it's chilly here. It is chilly here. If you see this when it gets released about 9 o'clock, the video is going to be a little later today. It's probably in the 40s, and that's cold for us. I'm telling you. And the humidity's up, so that makes it work. That makes it worse. Again, welcome back to the program. We appreciate you being here. By the time you hear this, it's going to be in the 40s. It's going to be in the friggin' 40s. And that's cold for us because, again, the humidity is up. And when the humidity is up, it's wet and it's just unfriggin' pleasant. Just unpleasant. Hopefully it'll get, I saw some reports where it might get up into the 60s today. So if it's 60 or 65 and the sun's out, that'll be bearable. I certainly hope so. First of all, I don't like to be cold. I mean, did you know that I make a big deal about this because I just don't like to be cold. All right, I don't like to be lied to either. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the headline is from townhall.com and our girl Beth Bauman. The headline is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez completely lied about her near-death experience during the Capitol Hill riot. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from New York, was caught in a lie about her experiences during the Capitol riot on January 6th. AOC has gone into great detail about her experience during the riot, making it sound as though she had first-hand encounters with rioters who broke into the Capitol building. That has turned out to be false. From the Post-Millennial, it reads this. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has spoken at length about her experience during the Capitol Hill riots on January 6th. From her live Instagram videos, it seemed like she was on the front line, facing down Trump supporters, supporting rioters in the halls outside her office. But it turns out that Ocasio-Cortez wasn't in the Capitol at the time of the assault on Congress. She was in her office, in another building entirely. Ocasio-Cortez's congressional office is in the Cannon House office building, according to her website. Her Washington, D.C. address is 229 Cannon HOB. The Cannon HOB is accessible to the Capitol via tunnel. On Tuesday, Ocasio-Cortez spoke to millions of fans on Instagram, relaying her past experience of sexual assault, which she said has left her traumatized. The experience, she said, was compounded by what happened to her during the Capitol Hill riot. AOC hid in a nearby bathroom, as it turns out. A Capitol Hill police officer came to the bathroom inside her office and instructed her to evacuate. The congresswoman said neither her or her legislative director trusted the officer. According to AOC, the cop was looking at me with all this anger and hostility. He's probably pissed. He's probably pissed that the whole thing's going on. At first, my brain in my mind, I just came to this super intense experience just now. Maybe I'm reading into this, right? Maybe I'm projecting. Maybe I'm projecting something to him that I'm just sensing anger, but maybe he's not trying to be angry. She explained during the Instagram Live. But I talked to my legislative director, and he said, no. I didn't know if he would help us or hurt us either. He was actually like, this man came with so much hostility. She claimed the legislative director thought he was going to have to fight the cop. Somebody else who was watching the live tweeted, AOC just said in her Insta Live that rioters broke into her office during the insurrection. This is honestly bone-chilling. There's a problem with all this. I mean, it's a great story. It's a great story. Isn't it? It is a great story. There's a problem with the story. Freshman Congresswoman Nancy Mace, Republican from South Carolina, has an office 2 doors down from AOC. And she said, no insurrectionists, in air quotes, ever stormed the hallway. And this is what Representative Mace tweeted. AOC, let's see, made it clear she didn't know who was at the door. Breathless attempts by media to fan fictitious news flames are dangerous. My office is 2 doors down. Insurrectionists never stormed our hallway. Egregious doesn't even begin to cover it. Is there nothing the mainstream media won't politicize? Yeah. And of course, Ocasio-Cortez took to social media to claim that right-wingers are manipulating the narrative because they don't know the layout of the Capitol complex. Well, yeah, it's easy to get. The layout of the Capitol complex is very, very easy to get. She wasn't even in the Capitol building. She was in another building. Yes, accessible through tunnels, but she was in another building. And she wasn't on the Titanic either. And she didn't ride down the World Trade Center when it collapsed. She didn't. This is problematical, sad, terrible, and problematical. But these folks can get a lot of play in media because no one fact checks them. So where are you? Where are you, Mark Zuckerberg? Where are you when somebody gets on your platform and tells a bold-faced lie like that? Where are you? Where are you, Jack Dorsey, when someone gets on your platform and tells a bold-faced lie like that, impugning the quality and the character of other people? Where are you? Just curious. Just curious, man. Just curious. All right. Yeah, this is going to be a quick one because we gotta do some stuff. Let's see. The Trump legal team is changing. This is another one by our girl Beth Bauman. The Trump impeachment defense team could get an unlikely addition. This would be huge. This would be freaking huge. One of the President Donald Trump's greatest allies in Congress, Representative Matt Gaetz, Republican from my home state of Florida, on Wednesday said he would be willing to resign from Congress to join the Trump defense team in an upcoming Senate impeachment trial. There were some of us who checked to see where we could be the ones to go defend President Trump in the Senate because we would be honored to, and the word we got back from the House Ethics Committee was that we could not, as sitting members of the House, go and defend him in the Senate. Gaetz explained in the War Room pandemic podcast with host Steve Bannon. You know, Steve Bannon used to be in the advisor to the president and work for Breitbart. Would you step down from Congress? Would you resign in order to defend the president in the way you want to defend him? Bannon asked. Gaetz said, although he loves being in the House and representing his constituents, he would be part of Trump's defense if he were asked. I view this cancellation of the Trump presidency and the Trump movement as one of the major risks to the people in my district and all throughout this great country, Gaetz explained. Absolutely. If the president called me and wanted me to go defend him on the floor of the Senate, that would be my top priority in life. I would leave my House seat. I would leave my home. I would do anything I had to do to ensure the greatest president in my lifetime, one of the greatest presidents of our country ever had, maybe the greatest president our country has ever had, got a full-throated defense that was not crouched down, that wasn't in fear of losing some moderate Republican senators, but was worthy of the fight that he gave to the great people of this country for 4 years. Okay, Gaetz is like, if he calls me, I'm going to be there. I'm his ride or die. That's impressive. Bannon followed up by saying he was pretty sure Gaetz' constituents would overwhelmingly support him if he decided to be part of the Trump's defense team. And so you will wonder what happened. What would happen? Well, at the beginning of the term, right now, Gaetz' replacement would be picked by the governor and would be a Republican, obviously, and then there would be a special election at some point, either at the end of this term or sometime before that. There'd be a special election, and I'm sure that that person will be a Republican too. So there you go. I just don't see that seat if he leaves turning blue. So if a lot of you would be worried about it, but then we will lose a seat in the House. Well, we don't have enough seats in the House to make a difference anyway. So what difference does it make? The impeachment trial is scheduled to begin in the Senate Monday. This Monday. So that would be huge, and we're gonna, especially because Gates is one of our dudes here in Florida, we're gonna continue to watch that and see what Matt Gates decides to do. And I guess it really matters if the president asks. And really, seriously, if the president said, come on my team, and Gates does it, Gates is set for life anyway. Gates doesn't have to worry about what happens in Florida. He doesn't have to worry about. He doesn't have to worry about anything. He becomes one of the golden children. He goes and kisses the ring of the dawn. Dude is set. He's a made man. That's all there is to it. So there's hardly a downside for Matt Gates. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with more of the program right after these messages. All right. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us. Thank you ever so much. I wanted to make sure everybody knows I've been mentioning it all week. The weekend of Friday, February 19th and February 20th is Frederick Douglass weekend here in the Tampa Bay area. On February 19th at Daddy-O's Patio at 1822 East 7th Avenue, there will be a Frederick Douglass meet and greet. The CEO of New Journey PAC will be the guest speaker. There'll be others there. It'll be a good time. It'll be laid back. We'll be there doing this, and that'll be cool. That'll be fun. There'll be music. There'll be food and drink for purchase at a new place. That's the building that La Tropicana was in. There on the corner, and it's kitty corner to the Blind Tiger coffee shop. So if you're from this area, you'll have an idea where that is. Albert Gilroy, the former state official from Louisiana, will be there as well. You'll be able to sit and meet and get autographs and talk for a bit. It's gonna be a good time. You're gonna be there, and you want to leave early at 9 o'clock because you got to be up at 10 o'clock in the morning to be in St. Petersburg, because in St. Petersburg at the Allstate Center on the campus of St. Pete College will be the Frederick Douglass brunch at 10 a.m. Excuse me, my light went crazy. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be, again, on the campus of St. Pete College at 3200 34th Street North in St. Pete, 33701. To get tickets to that event, that's a ticketed event, you want to go to fightbackmedia.com and click on the Frederick Douglass brunch poster, and that'll take you to the Eventbrite site where you can buy tickets. Tickets are $35 before the 14th, Valentine's Day, and $45 afterwards. So if you want to take your sweetie to the brunch, get your tickets beforehand. Do that. Get your tickets beforehand. Again, this is being put on by the Pinellas Suncoast Black Republicans Club. Their P.O. Box is 18123, Clearwater, Florida, 33762. If you want to reserve something early, especially you want to tell them that you're going to the meet and greet, please call Joyce at 727-338-9177. That's 727-338-9177. Call Joyce and let her know that you're attending the meet and greet. That would be very, very cool. All right. This is Black History Month. Now, whether we want to talk about whether we should have Black History Month or not have Black History Month, I don't want to talk about that right now. But something I did think about. I worked in education for a while, And I always look at every opportunity for every student to get to the next level, and everybody gets to the next level differently. Some kids are academically gifted, and that's going to be their ticket to the next level of education. Some kids are musically gifted, and that's going to get them to the next level. And we should understand that some kids are athletically gifted, and that's going to get them to the next level. Um, and this is why this is troubling. This is why this is troubling. Um, the Joe Biden's education secretary nominee basically has said that biological males, have a right. Listen to this: have a right to compete against biological girls in sports. Joe Biden's nominee to lead the Department of Education, Miguel Cardona, said he will work to protect the new executive order that mandates biological males be allowed to compete against biological females. Specifically, he will work to make sure the practices allowed in high schools, where female athletes are often stripped of scholarship opportunities and athletic titles after being forced to compete against biological men. And I thought about this for a while, and connecting it to Black history, and I think about all the Black girls who use athletics as their ticket to the next level, especially in sports like track and field. It seems like something that someone on Steven Crowder said, that this is a great thing to teach little girls, that they can do anything they want to as long as they were born a dude. So what do you think? So what do you think in general about boys running in track meets? Like they've been doing in Connecticut. Republican Senator Rand Paul asked during Cardona's confirmation hearing in Capitol Hill. Here's what he says: I think it's critically important to respect the rights of all students, including students who are transgender, and that they are afforded the opportunities that every other student has to participate in extracurricular activities. And then he got asked, does it bother you that the top 20% of boys running in track meets beat all of the girls in the state? And let me see, and that will completely destroy girls' athletics. The girls are being pushed out. If they don't make the finals in the state meet, they don't get college scholarships. That is really detrimental to girls' sports. Do you worry about having boys running in track meets? Paul followed up. Do you think it's fair? Here's what Cardona says. I recognize and appreciate the concern and frustration that are expressed, Cardona said. I think it's appropriate it's the legal responsibility of schools to provide opportunity for students to participate in activities, and this includes students who are transgender. Paul goes on, you gotta love Rand Paul. So you don't have a problem then when boys running in girls' track meets, swim meets, name it, you're okay with boys competing against girls, Paul asked. I love how they stay right there. Cardona says, I believe schools should offer the opportunity for students to engage in extracurricular activities, even if they're transgender. That's their right, Cardona said. Well, it's obviously not their right, because if they don't keep their grades up, they don't get to participate, so that's not their right, actually. It's a privilege they get. The policy has been a major focus in Connecticut, where a number of female athletes are suing. This is from the Alliance of Defending Freedom. Today, this is a tweet from them. Today, the National Girls and Women's in Sports is Sports Day. This was on what day? On yesterday. The AFD, the Alliance for Defending Freedom, is committed to standing up for fairness in women's sports. Learn how the Biden administration is threatening fair competition and take a stand. You can go to adflegal.org/stand for freedom. That's adflegal.org stand for freedom. And I always think, like, how many young black women, the ticket to the next level for them, college athletics, track and field primarily, and then basketball probably. Now they've got to compete against the fastest girls in their town, but now they got to compete against dudes too. And the fact of the matter is, the fact of the matter is that a lot of these guys who don't make finals, who aren't going to get a scholarship as guys, because they're not that good at guys, are faster than some of the girls, are stronger than some of the girls, even after spending time on hormones. It just doesn't seem, I don't know, does it seem right? I don't see any of the black leaders showing up and saying, we need to protect our young ladies. I don't see any of that either, and that concerns me. But that's where we are right now. All right, folks, we got to get out of here, make room for somebody else. And so until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors have vowed. Casting down any among us who have bucked and cowed. Enough with tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return her to a form of glory, fix the bloody crack on the crown. Fetch a gown, it's going down.